hold on, let me mute myself. All right. We do have mics, so please wait for one before. Well, we'll start with Jeff Kassouf. Questions for Emma. Go ahead. No, you're good. You've been in a lot of press conferences.
Emma, I think we've probably all seen from the outside Alyssa's form for club and country. I'm curious just how you've seen her progress from the inside over the past year, and obviously if you can talk about that goal as well from her.
I think it's been a tremendous year for Alyssa, for both club and country. The consistency in her play, I think, is a standout for me in terms of being able to do things over 90 minutes and do it game after game, including a clutch moment like today. She's been doing that for Chelsea all year. She took a chance earlier on in the game, and I said, you're going to get one more. You're going to get another. And I feel when we play against teams that, in world football, everyone's really quite compact and well coached now. But sometimes you're going to need something from deeper areas. You can't break blocks. We'll call them low XG chances. And if you think about this tournament, Lindsay Heaps, Jaden Shaw, Alyssa Thompson, the types of goals we've scored is because teams respect that space in the box and not giving us much of it. So it was a wonderful finish from her, and one that it was coming. Like we deserved that, I think, based on the second half.
Go up front, and we'll go across the front here.
Hi, Coach. Just talk to me in regards of Colombia. What changed, during halftime? Because it was sort of like one half for each team. So
yeah.
What broke it down, or?
I thought we were sluggish the first half. I thought everything we did was a step off. I thought we were too deep in midfield. I thought we were slow to press the ball. I thought in general our play was average. But we're playing a good opponent that can transition well. So I think having that test was a good moment for us. That's the first. Second, we coached some different things in the second half. And then we went to the bench, where I've been saying since I've been here that we have to develop talent to be ready. And sometimes you win a game in the first 60 minutes. Today we won the game from the players coming from the bench. The difference was the bench today for us, even though Alyssa took the goal.
I know it's a collective sport. Did you have a plan to contain Linda Caicedo?
Yeah, I mean, listen, she's world class. No denying, she's world class. And I think Tara Rudd came in and did a great job second half. I thought she showed a pace and the tenacity to quieten down those threats. But listen, you can only stop threats like that as a collective. And I think Linda had a great game. I think Lacey Santos had a great game. They're great players. But we didn't give up a shot in our box. And I'm proud of that. I like clean sheets.
Emma, thanks for the time. Obviously, you're happy with the wins, but, I mean, that shutout streak now has continued well into this year, over 800 minutes. I mean, how much pride do you take knowing that your players are all working together for that goal? Like, you're not going to get clear-cut chances and you're not going to get goals.
Yeah, I think I've said it before. We've got a split season. We've got half our players in season, half players out. I think the performances in SheBelieves reflects that. Some really good moments and then not quite. But as I said to the team, winning major things, it requires different games and different approaches in every game. And I think we've showed all those sides in all three games. I think we've shown how to win when we're not at our best. I think we've shown the versatility. I think we've shown the depth. I think we've shown maturity. And I'm like, as a coach, like, I'm happy about those things. And yeah, of course, I love shutouts, but more importantly, I love that we haven't give up a lot of chances and haven't sort of. Sometimes when you're winning a game 1-0, the game can get really tight. You give away corners, and all of a sudden a game can flip like that. And I think we've done well to minimise games becoming transitional.
Before Jonathan goes, Colombia had one shot on goal. We only had 3, but they only had 1. Go ahead.
Thanks, Aaron. Hi, Emma. Spoke about the depth a moment ago, and you spoke about the depth a moment ago. I know we ask you all the time about how much of a luxury it is, but how much of a tool does it also become in the way to know that you have so much depth in the pool and you can load up a roster and bring in 4 players off a bench and wear another team down like that, because come a World Cup, it might be another tool for you.
Yeah, which is why I say to the squad all of the time, it's important that everybody plays their role, because it matters. And of course, players that didn't make the starting lineup today are always going to be disappointed, but it's your reaction to it. It's making sure that you make that difference. I'm demonstrating as a coach, I just trust the squad to put 4 players in very early in the second half. It's not like the game needed changing. It's not like we were losing. But I want to be able to keep offering another version of ourselves. And I think if people understand their roles, their responsibilities, there's clarity in all of those things, then it should not matter who comes in. And I think back to the Olympics every time, I didn't know the squad. And depth might have been there, but it hadn't been developed. I think the difference in the place I'm in now is bringing emissaries on, and it's going to add value to the game and add quality, the same as Olivia Moultrie, Jaden Shaw, Lindsay Heaps coming in the game, Avery Patterson filling in again, Giselle Thompson this week. Like, really proud of the players, and I'm proud of our system. I'm proud of the development from our youth national teams into under-23 transitions and here. And of course, that's, us working together to create the right moments for these players is adding a lot of value.
There and then there. You can hand it to him. Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, Party of Catchery, CBS Sports. I remember before the tournament when you did your press conference, you were talking about developing number 9s.
I'm glad you do. I'm glad you can remember it.
In the absence of Sophia Wilson, Katarina Macario, so I'm just curious, over the course of the last week, how do you feel like your 9s in camp have done?
You know what? Great question. I'm really happy with that. I think knowing Ali sent her, for the first 2 games, I thought she was exceptional, menacing, like, everywhere. So you don't let people breathe. I think in a game today, when it got a little bit lower, we needed a different presence. Then you got Jaden Shaw, you can drop in. I thought Jaden did really well, held the ball up differently, linked with Olivia. I thought the 9 and 10 did well. And then when you need to close a game out and you want to stretch 9, then we can go to Jamise Joseph. I think we're in a much better position as a result of that. And yeah, I'm pleased knowing that it is an area we have to develop. And of course, we have to still find those development moments. But I think we're in a better position than we were prior.
Hi, Coach. So you mentioned that the subs that came in around the 60th minute changed the momentum of the game. What was your thought process, like tactically speaking, bringing in the players you chose to bring in?
I love that there's more and more football questions as we progress, by the way. I felt that gaps were starting to appear between Colombia's back line and their midfield, and sometimes when you want to make things happen, players start to come out of areas to get on the ball lower. And I said to Jaden and Olivia, stay in them areas. The ball will come. We will find them, because we're getting quicker, shifting the ball across the space. So then inverted Avery and kept Alyssa on the outside and made a tiny change there so that we had a good rest defence structure, knowing that every time we attacked, we stopped the transition second half, and it allowed the 9 and 10 to be more active, and there was much more combination between those players. Now, granted, when space opens up, it's easier. And then, of course, maintain the width on the outside with Emma Sears, but also have the width on the outside of Alyssa Thompson, which we didn't have in the first half because Avery was in that part of the pitch. But because they're so adaptable, it's easy for Avery to go, well, I'm here, but I know the role of that because we rehearse it all week. And also find the best moment for Alyssa to express herself with time and space. And I think all of those things contributed. And I think Lindsay came in and contributed with her leadership to just keep the momentum, and used her experience to do that. And Tara, I think Tara was a big difference too. I think she came in, she brought physicality, but she sped up our play, whether she was driving into midfield. And when you play against teams that don't come out, you have to attract that pressure. And I thought the team, from my end, I saw so many things I loved. You might know of, but I definitely did, because I know the things we're working on.
Hey, Emma,
Hey.
I have actually a non-football question.
It's all right.
You've been a long-time advocate for fair pay. The WNBA is in the middle of a very contentious collective bargaining negotiation now. I'm just curious your thoughts on that league, where it is right now, and maybe what the players bring to it.
Well, without knowing the ins and outs of this question, I know I'm a fan of the WNBA, and I'm sure the players petitioning for whatever they see as fair value is something that I support. I think the important thing I always say is I'm always going to champion women trying to improve and better everything that comes with it, whether it's facility based, whether it's equity based, whether it's pay based. So without knowing the ins and outs of it, I support improving everything that comes with women's sports.
In the back, go ahead.
Lily Johannes today played, and she's only 18 years old. What are some things you want to see develop in her game, and what are some things that you see her already far developed past someone her age would normally be?
Yeah, I mean, she's got so many natural abilities with the ball in terms of the way she carries the ball as she moves across this pitch. She's got a great swagger and grace to her play. And she's got an eye for a pass and a final pass. I think she's getting more tenacious in her defensive recoveries. She knows it's an area she has to keep growing in. But she's where I expect an 18-year-old to be. I think playing at Lyon and training with some of the best players in the world is helping with that, because it's habit. I think when she's played at Ajax and dominated in a lower league, lower level league, then going to Lyon is a step up. And so I think we need to be patient with that and know that there'll be up and downs with it. But I'm super happy with Lille and development.
Sean, Soccer Long Island Magazine. Most of your players came from the domestic league here, barely in preseason, if that. You just won a trophy. What does that tell you about either the players or the league, if anything?
It's why I love it so much. I know we're not at our best. I don't expect us to be. I think if you think about the lack of cutting edge maybe in the final third, all I kept thinking is that part in football always comes with most rhythm and feel and played in. I think the mentality to push through, the mentality to support each other too. I think one thing this group is doing, they're trusting the preparation. They're developing what we call their resilience recipes, and they're as present as they could possibly be. These things are absolutely instrumental when you're not at the best, and I'm so proud of the way we've grown up this tournament.
I think in the back, yep.
Kyle Bauman, Sporting News. Coach, as you wrap up She Believes right around International Women's Day, you got to honor Tobin Heath before the game and everything she's brought. But when you look at your current team right now, is there something about this team that you're most proud of as they take that mantle and continue to grow the women's game?
To be honest, it's all of it. It's all of it. It's not just competing and winning, but it's the responsibilities that come with it and showing up with that, whether it's with our fans, whether it's I was telling the players about an email a fan sent me the other day that had a young girl called Joy was outside of the stadium with a little big card with like Rose's name on it, and security were doing a little check under the bus, and I said to her, bring Joy on the bus so we drive in, right? Let's give Joy a memory. And she got on the bus and she was overwhelmed with emotion. We drove into the stadium. You know, we all got off and she met her hero, Rose, and she was in tears. And her dad sent me an email saying, you don't have no idea what that means to that person. And as I say to the players all the time, it's the smallest things that make the biggest difference. And this means a lot to this country. Lean into it, lean into our fans, lean into what that means in the community. And I always say I want us to be a team that everyone loves, because as much as you can come in here and ask me lots of questions about a myriad of different things, I think there's a lot of hate and a lot of negative stuff happening, but I can control this one, and I can control an environment to give it joy and happiness and share these things with each other and with the fans. And I choose to do that because I don't know, I want it to be like that.
Coach, Michael Batista, New York Sports Nation and Hudson River Blue. You talked about going to the Olympics. You were still learning this team.
Yeah.
What would you say, after the Olympics was SheBelieves Cup 2025, where the team lost to Japan? What would you say the difference is between this year and last year, if you could try and sum that up, or what you can feel the differences with these teams?
I think if we think about the Olympics, we'd talk about like a team that was really resilient and difficult to beat in the triple espresso. Now we talk about all the other players in addition to that. It's a team that can support. So Soph and Mal, we welcome back to the team when they come, but they've had their babies and others have been able to carry that mantle, and that's a great place to be. You've got Trin, who's been out for a period of time, plays 60 minutes. She's in pre-season and looks like she's in pre-season. But she dug in and she can leave the field and you can bring an Emma Sears on and know that you can maintain that quality. The difference is the experience that's been developed within that depth. They can do it now, and do it because of the experiences of losing to Japan, to losing to Brazil. And let me tell you, that game was exactly what we needed, something that was a little bit spicy. And there's stuff we've been doing in the background to make sure that edge, that discipline is an edge for us. And I thought we handled that really well.
We're just going to end online with two online. Go ahead, Luca. Unmute yourself. There you go.
It's Luca from Football City Talk. Your team seemed to grow into the game as it progressed. What does that say about the character and mentality of this group?
I think everything. Like I said, I'm not sitting here and saying everything was perfect in the performances, but I think there's a difference. I think even when we're not at our best, we still have a belief and a trust that we can keep improving and we'll find a way. And I've coached enough teams to know that that is golden. And this team is together, but also enjoying themselves, but also committed to the process of improving ourselves, because an Argentina, a Colombia, or a Canada, as I keep saying all the time, the world game is in a much different place. Like, this Colombia team was better than it was 12 months ago, just like Argentina were. In fact, just like Canada are. And this is where we want women's soccer to be, so we have to keep improving if we are to keep pace with that.
Sandra, bring it home.
Thanks, Aaron. Emma, congratulations on the win
Thanks.
tonight. It's the 8th SheBelieves title for the U.S. Women's National Team, and it's the first one for you in your era with this team. Just what's it feel like on kind of adding and building to the legacy of the SheBelieves Cup, and just maybe some of your early perspectives on sort of the three flavors of these past games, and what are they kind of taking over into 3 games against Japan? Thank you.
I think the first is that I want the team to make memories together. I want them to feel like something was at stake, but they could also win something together. I think it is indicative of a new group post-Olympics. This is a team that we are building towards the World Cup qualification. I think it was the variety in games, I think, was the standout for me. 3 very different opponents with very different challenges. And I think that sets us up nicely for playing against Japan, who I think are another level to all three teams that played today. And I think it sets us up perfectly to see where we stack up at the next stage.
Excellent. Thank you, Emma. We will
Thanks.
see you all on the West Coast in April, where it'll be a little warmer.